Hi Aries, welcome to your 2024-25 Astrology Horoscope forecast. This is your annual forecast. Welcome to my channel. It's a transitional year, Aries. We are moving away from the water and the earth energies, which were all about structure. They were about authority. They were about coming out into our own, embracing our sense of identity. And now we are moving more into the fire and air frequencies, which are more about the collective consciousness. Importantly, more so because we have the large shift of Pluto that is happening after 20 years. And I've been speaking about this in my previous videos. I'll put up a link over here. You can go and you can watch the Pluto movement that has been, I think, one of the most talked about aspects in astrology. Pluto had been in Capricorn for the last 20 years and it has now shifted into Aquarius. And since the last year, the shifting has begun. And in mid-Jan is a time where Pluto finally comes and sits over there. Now, the more said about the Pluto, the less it seems. But to summarize it, Pluto is, I personally feel that it is far more potent than Saturn is. It's considered as a row of planet. It rules our deep psychological patterns. It rules our psyche. So it's not just happy about teaching us things on a surface levels, like Saturn would maybe come for 2.5 years and teach us that, okay, we need to be working more harder, we need to be learning our lessons, and then it moves on. And also Saturn tends to leave a gift behind. But Pluto stays for 20 years, and it's only once in our lifetime that we may experience a Plutonian shift in our own personal house. And now Pluto takes about 252 years to orbit around the Earth. So it's really slow moving and it's really, really potent. It tends to go really deep underneath any issues depending as to which house that it is aspecting for, and we're going to be talking about that in detail. And it's going to be unearthing everything for us. So it's not going to be just satisfied and saying, okay, just learn your lesson, it's all right, because the transit is long. It's a really long transit of 20 years, and maybe just once in a lifetime we're going to be experiencing it. And the house in which it aspects is I would say literally our karmic house or our life lesson, depending of course as to how old we are. So I'm going to be looking at, I'm just going to be focusing on slow moving planets. Then I'm going to be running through the eclipses. We also have Mercury retrograde that is there, and interestingly again we have Mercury retrograde in the air energy, which is again all about communication. It's about how it is that we are engaging, interacting with people, how it is that we are sharing knowledge, how it is that we are also coexisting with people. So the entire energy, because Pluto has also moved into Aquarius, which is about the collective consciousness. It's more about we. It's not about I or me, which was maybe so in the last 2 decades where Capricorn was there. There was a lot of structural changes now, not just physical, but even within families, within businesses that we saw, which completely collapsed, and they had to be redone again. And there was a big focus on security, on hoarding and keeping more and buying more, and deriving our security from material things that we owned. But Aquarius is about the collective. It's about we. It's about us. It is how it is that we can, all of us together can succeed. It's not just about few people holding the purse strings or just few people holding the power. It's about how it is that the power gets distributed. So Pluto is going to be impacting all of us in our personal lives, and it's also going to be, of course, be making great advancements as well as far as knowledge is concerned, as far as I think on a vibrational field as well, as far as healing is concerned. A lot of shift, a lot of changes there. We have your ruling planet Mars that is going to be going retrograde in December. And then we have Jupiter that is going to be making its annual shift. It moves once a year, and it's going to be moving into your house of communication. It's a house of your learning, and it's going to be expanding things a lot for you. So it's again moving from Taurus and it's moving into Gemini. So you will find again, that your interactions with the community where you stay, with your friend circle, with people, with neighbors, all of that gets enhanced, and it could be for better or for worse, either ways. And a lot of you are also going to be wanting to increase your knowledge. You're going to be wanting to learn more. You're going to be wanting to add to your skill set. And there will be a desire, a need to express yourself very freely. And a lot of you are going to be very enthusiastic about your ideas, and some of them could also be very different from not just the way that you have thought earlier. I think there's also going to be a shift of what is it that you have thought all along, that in a certain way work needs to get done, and there's going to be a shift now that maybe you're going to be be more comfortable being a gig worker. It's not necessarily that you're going to be drawn to a 9 to 5 job. And for a lot of you who are looking at studying further, there are going to be opportunities as far as advanced studies is there out of the country. And you naturally, Aries, are going to be quite you're going to be quite susceptible, and you're going to be quite open to learning. So this entire phase is going to make you quite prone to seek, and also you will be able to absorb the knowledge that is there. Also, for some of you, there can be that there could be some good news as far as family is concerned, maybe regarding a sibling that is there. For those of you who are authors, who are musicians, you'll find that your creative juices are really flowing. If for the longest you have been in a kind of a limbo, there's been a stagnancy that you have been feeling. And with Jupiter coming now, it's going to sort of open up the doors for you. Mercury retrogrades, like I said, are there all in fire signs. And so this is again going to be encouraging you to think innovatively, think differently, try not to sort of get caught in not just a regular routine, I think, but if you have been used to working in a certain way, try and see whether you can do the same thing differently. On Jan the 21st, we have Pluto that is moving into your house of friendships, and Pluto has been there in your house of career. So for a lot of you, they may have been for the last 2 decades a lot of shifts. You'll pick up something, it may have interested you, but then again, you would have thought that, okay, maybe this is not working out for me, I need to be changing this, and you may have moved to something else. And there may have been a lot of job changes, there may have been a lot of career shifts as well. But Pluto now has hopefully in the last 2 decades has taught you, Aries, as to what is it that you really need to be focusing on, or what is the area of your work that really drives you. Now Pluto is going to be ruling your house of friendships, groups of people, and it can make you slightly obsessed about wanting to be a part of a certain, whether it's a group or it's a friend circle. And you may also become quite insistent that you are not just liked, but what is it that others think of you. So there can be some power struggles as far as friendships are concerned. So try and be careful about when you see control issues cropping up with friends or with certain groups that you are part of, and ask yourself whether it is a healthy friendship or a healthy group. And also ask yourself whether you are the problem, whether that insistent need is inside you to want to be accepted so obsessively. And it's also a time that you can work on issues, on bringing about problems to a closure in the first place. And so while it's good to be involved in other people's causes or the groups with whom you're involved, and you feel very strongly because they feel very strongly about the cause, but ensure that you take time off to take care of yourself, you take care of your health, and that you're taking regular time off, Aries. And as for your dreams of future are concerned, this can be an excellent transit to achieve your dreams. It's a wonderful time to be making them happen, implementing things that you've been thinking about or you've been dreaming about. It could be a passion project, but try and avoid being obsessive, because Pluto can sort of make you quite it's beyond being focused. It's being very insistent and going on and on about wanting to be included, wanting to participate, or wanting that adopting that cause on behalf of others. So it's the transit is I think it would be good for you to be little wise and do your homework, be responsible, and also make room for other things in your life. Don't get so carried away with your friendships or with your causes or with groups of people that you um, just forget yourself, or you do not pay attention to, or whether it is your own mental health, your physical health, your peace of mind, your own personal life, your family. And try and, because that could get affected or impacted with all of this. Of course, this transit can be more prominent in your life, and you can have a look at your birth chart as well. If you have a Saturn or a Uranus that is placed along with Pluto. On March the 25th, 2024, there's going to be a lunar eclipse that is there in your house of relationships. This is both your house of marriage as well as your business partnerships. So it can be that a certain, whether it is a work project that comes to an end, it reaches its fruition. It can be in certain cases if things have really been tough in a marriage, that you sort of understand that this is not going anywhere, it's sort of ending, and it could end up in a separation. But again, this is, you really need to be looking at your birth chart and seeing as to where how rest of the planets around it are placed as well. We have a solar eclipse that is there on 8th of April, and this is there in your own house. So this is a time, it's your birthday time, Aries, and it's a time for you to recreating things for yourself. It's a time for new opportunities, new beginnings, how it is that you want your life to be, how it is that you see yourself, what is the kind of partner that you want in your life, who are the people that you want to associate with, what is the kind of work that you want to do. So this is your astrological new year, and from 8th of April, and that's the time that you have a blank canvas and you're being encouraged to paint something really beautiful and really brave. We then have, so our first set of eclipses are there actually in your first house and in your house of marriage and relationships. So there can be some changes in relationships, in very close relationships, and how you see them. And also eclipses tend to last for 6 months, so the effect is not just going to sort of slide off after a month. On May 25th, we'll have Jupiter that will move into your house of communication, and it's going to be there for a year. And it's going to be resonating with Pluto that is there in your house of groups of people and friendships. And this aspect at times can bring about an inheritance, it can bring about a bonus, it can bring about some wealth. And for a lot of you, you will for sure increase your knowledge and your skill set, and you are also going to be very keen to share knowledge. So this entire transit is going to be going to make you sort of want to be fronting the business. You're going to be quite the chatter, the charmer. You're not going to be very happy being sort of behind the scenes and working. This is a time that you would really want to be out and communicating and hustling. The retrogrades are Mercury retrogrades are there in April, August, and November, and they are there in the fire houses. They are there in your house of self. They are there in your house of love, romance, creativity, and they are there in your house of long distance. So a lot of focus is there on relationships. A lot of focus is there on yourself, on how it is that you are going to redefine yourself. What is it that can be made better? How it is that you can, um, empower yourself more so that you can be more stronger emotionally, so that, whether you are not a part of a certain circle or whether you're not a part of a certain group, that, you're quite all right with it. September the 18th, we have a lunar eclipse that is there in your house of behind the scenes. And in October, we have a solar eclipse that is there in your house of relationships and your marriage and business partnerships as well. So again, in September and October, there's again going to be a focus on relationships again. And I think this is a time where you are being encouraged to sort of take some time off, whether it is time off from social media, from your gadgets, or it is, constantly sort of trying to manage and do things. And, at times and you especially Aries, because, you really like to move, you like to get things done, and it gives you a high, but at times you get so caught up with it that you actually lose yourself. You do not know who you are. Once, if your gadgets and the noise around you is taken, you could be quite the little lost child. So you are being asked to um, focus more on your patterns, on your psychological patterns. What is it that you want out of relationships? What is it that needs to get changed? What is it that makes you insecure? What is it that makes you work so hard to want to, whether it is be liked or be a part of a group or even be needed? Where does it stem from? On December the 6th, we have your ruler Mars, which will be going retrograde in your house of love, romance, creativity, and children. And Mars over here is again going to make you reflect as to where it is that you're spending time and how is it and with whom is it that you're spending the time, that whether it is a quality time or even um, what is it that is really taking you away from yourself. And this is also a time where you could be looking at a passion project. Maybe you will go back to something that you started and you left. So a lot of things will be coming up on the surface for us. And like I said, it's a very transitional year before we really move into the thick of things with the fire and the air energies, which is, I think it's going to be quite a dynamite. Everything is going to be moving very, very fast, very quickly. Globally, while, we can see a lot of dramatic, whether they're climate changes, they could be even, the stock market could behave really, really erratically as well. But along with it, also, we'll find that people are unusually getting super sensitive. You just can't sort of say anything without upsetting anyone. And it could, like a small word or a small sentence, could just sort of spark a big war. Egos could get inflated. So, a lot of things, this transitional year is all about sort of getting a handle of how the planets are and where they are, in which direction they're moving. Of course, it's always worth a while, and that's what's really there eventually in our control, is to stay centered, is to stay grounded, because the earth and the fire energy can make us little reckless. It can make us think and do things which, while where innovation is concerned, it's fantastic, but maybe where personal decisions are concerned, It you know it we may just need to be more careful. Have a fabulous 2024 Aries. I'll see you soon, hopefully, and thank you